So Mr. Colbert moves to this small town in Sparta, this small town Sparta, Mississippi, and he's gonna he's gonna build a factory. And everyone's like, when they find him, they're like, oh, they murdered that nice businessman who's going to bring us jobs. And there was also the rumor that when he did bring the factory, half of the jobs at the factory were going to go to coloreds, were going to go to black people. And when I heard that, I was like, now it makes sense to me why they would think Endicott would do it.
Right.
Endicott works on a plantation where he has people picking, black people specifically, picking cotton, right? And if this factory job comes into town, who's going to pick the cotton? If half of the jobs in the factory are promised to black people,
Right.
there won't be anyone. And then there was a conversation he has with Mr. Endicott has with Tibbs, where he's like, oh, what kind of flowers do you like? Do you like flowers? And they're talking about orchids. And then Tibbs says that he likes epiphytics. And what's his name? Endicott says something along the lines like, oh, you would, because they're like Negroes. They need care and feeding. And then you're like, oh, okay. That's why that's why Tibbs is kind of so put off by Endicott, because everyone in the movie is racist. They call him boy. They think he's dumb. But Endicott is almost like rubbing that in his face in a way, like, oh, Negroes can't do anything. Right. While he's like, you talking to this smart, well-spoken guy who's leveling with him. And then when he pretty much just outright says,
put him back in his place, right? Like,
you're a suspect.
Yeah.
And he, and then you get that moment, that legendary slap that apparently is like super, super famous.